Namaste. Welcome to the lecture series on the subject Basic Thermodynamics. We are in module 3, in that part 1, second law of thermodynamics. This is lecture number 4. Myself, Dr. N. Satish Kumar, Associate Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Canara Engineering College. So the contents for this lecture are Carnot principle, reversible heat engine, reversible refrigerator and heat pump. Okay, Carnot principle. So there are two statements of this Carnot principle. The number one, the efficiency of an irreversible heat engine is always less than the efficiency of a reversible heat engine operating between the same two thermal reservoirs. You see, in the last lecture, we studied about the reversible heat engine and the irreversible heat engine. So, irreversible heat engine, so here the processes are not reversible. That means the processes which makes the heat engine cycle are not the reversible process. So, if all the processes of a heat engine cycles can be reversed, or they are the reversible process, then the cycle is called as the reversible cycle, and such an engine is called as the reversible heat engine. Whereas if the processes are irreversible, so the heat engine is called as the irreversible heat engine. Now, as we discussed in the previous lecture, the efficiency of an engine uh, which is reversible is always high, where the work output as well as the thermal efficiency is more, and it always sets a standard for comparison with other actual engines. So based on that, the first Carnot principle says that the efficiency of an irreversible heat engine is always less than the efficiency of a reversible heat engine, but the condition is when both are operating between the same two temperature reservoirs. Now you can see the diagram here. So one temperature reservoir is the high temperature reservoir at temperature TH, and the low temperature reservoir is at temperature TL. Now you have two engines, one is irreversible heat engine and other one is a reversible heat engine. Now the statement says efficiency of irreversible heat engine, that is heat engine 1, is it thermal eta TH1 is always less than eta TH2. Okay, so that is the first principle. The second principle, the efficiencies of all reversible heat engines operating between the same two reservoirs are same. Now suppose if the temperature of the high temperature reservoir and the low temperature reservoir are fixed, and if you connect any number of reversible heat engines and make it operate between the two reservoirs, then the efficiencies of all such reversible heat engines is always same. Means all reversible heat engines will have same efficiency when connected between two same thermal reservoirs. Now we have to prove this. Proof of the first statement. So I'll be using multiple slides in order to prove this. Okay, though the proof is simple, so I'll be using multiple slides. Okay, now let us consider two heat engines operating between the same two reservoirs, because that is the first requirement. So whenever you prove the first principle or the second principle, or the first statement or the second statement, so the engine should operate between the same two reservoirs. So here first principle says the efficiency of irreversible heat engine is less than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine. So you have to consider one irreversible heat engine and one reversible heat engine. So irreversible heat engine cannot be made to operate in a reverse direction, whereas a reversible heat engine you can make the process reverse. So that is very important. So one engine is reversible and other one is irreversible. So this is just look into the first diagram now. So whatever the explanation in the beginning, few slides will be connected to the first diagram itself, that is diagram A. Now each engine is supplied with the same amount of heat QH. This is the same diagram I am continuing for explanation in all the slides. So each engine is supplied with an amount of heat equal to QH. the amount of work produced by the reversible heat engine, that is the here is W reversible, and the amount of work produced by the irreversible heat engine is W irreversible. So try to understand, both are absorbing same amount of heat, and work out of the output of the reversible engine is W reversible, and whereas the work output of the irreversible engine is W irreversible. Now we assume that in order to prove this, once again is a logical proof, like the equivalence of the Kelvin, Planck and Clausius statements. Here we assume that irreversible heat engine is more efficient than the reversible heat engine. Means we are assuming against the Carnot principle. So Carnot principle is reversible engine is more efficient, but now I am assuming that irreversible heat engine is more efficient. Okay, so once we consider irreversible heat engine as more efficient, and then that irreversible heat engine should deliver more work than the reversible one. That means here W irreversible should be more than this. So this is greater. So if this is greater, the same amount of heat is absorbed. So then heat rejected to the low temperature reservoir, QL irreversible, becomes less than this. That's what is written here. QL irreversible is less than QL reversible. So it's a simple, very simple to understand. Both are absorbing same amount of heat, right? Since this is having more efficiency, so its work output has to be more than this engine. So W irreversible is more. So QH minus W irreversible becomes lesser quantity than QH minus W reversible, which is QL reversible. So I hope it is very clear for all of you. Now let the reversible heat engine be reversed. Can you see here? So we have shown it by a dotted line. So I am making this reversible heat engine to operate as a refrigerator by reversing the process. That means instead of supplying or rejecting heat to the low temperature reservoir, now this reversible heat engine or the refrigerator absorbs an amount of heat QL reversible and supplies an amount of heat QH to the high temperature reservoir. During this process, it takes the same amount of work as the input, that is W reversible. Since the refrigerator is rejecting heat in the amount of QH to the high temperature reservoir, you can see here, and the irreversible heat engine is receiving the same amount of heat from this reservoir, so the net exchange for this reservoir is 0. So what you can do is, this is supplying, you see now your dotted line you have to consider, because now it is reversed already. See, the reversible heat engine is already reversed. That means this line you have to consider now. Okay, that means it is absorbing from the low temperature reservoir and is supplying to the high temperature reservoir. The amount is QH, and this irreversible heat engine is also receiving an amount of QH. So what you can do is, now you can replace this, or you can, rather not replacing, you can remove this high temperature reservoir. Instead you can connect this to here like this. That means you can merge this with this. Okay, thus it could be eliminated. That is what I told in the previous slide, by having the refrigerator discharge QH directly into the reversible heat engine. That means this line can be directly connected to here into this engine, and this high temperature reservoir can be eliminated. Now considering the refrigerator and the reversible engine together, so once you can eliminate this by connecting this to here, so what you can do is, you can merge these two. Can you see the second diagram here? Combined reversible combined heat engine and the refrigerator combined, that is the irreversible heat engine and this refrigerator is combined. Now so here you see this quantity is less what it was rejecting earlier. Now it is absorbing here from here. So this is the quantity of heat that is absorbed from the low temperature reservoir, and here it gives out W irreversible minus W reversible. Now if you look into this second diagram or the diagram B, so what you can find is, this device, that is a combined device of heat engine plus refrigerator, is absorbing heat from a single reservoir and converting the entire heat absorbed into work. So which is a clear violation of Kelvin-Planck statement. So which is not possible. If this is not possible, so our assumption is also not possible. So that is how we conclude the statement. So our initial assumption, what we assumed is efficiency of the irreversible heat engine is greater than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine is incorrect. So then we conclude that no heat engine can have the more efficient than a reversible heat engine operating between the same reservoirs. This is to start with, you assumed something, that is eta Th irreversible is greater than eta Th reversible, and it led to violation of Kelvin-Planck statement. That means your assumption is wrong. So what should have been then? The reverse of that. That means eta Th reversible greater than eta Th irreversible. So this is called as a logical, by logical means you can prove, because there is no mathematical equations involved in. Okay. So you have to assume one a particular thing, and then you have to prove. Now in the same way you can prove the second statement also. So what is the second statement? The efficiency of all reversible heat engines operating between the same two temperature limits are same. So for that, what you have to do is you have to consider two reversible heat engines. Both this also reversible, this also reversible. You see, first one also reversible you have to consider. I am explaining about the second statement. Okay, both you have to consider reversible, and you have to prove, you have to assume that efficiency of one heat engine, both are reversible. Okay, you have to assume that efficiency of one of the reversible heat engines is more than the other. Okay, then you have to reverse one of the heat engines to make it work as the refrigerator, and in the same way you have to prove that it is violating the second law of thermodynamics. Hence your assumption is wrong, and hence both the engines should have the same efficiency. So that is how you have to prove. Since I am not going to do that, so I leave it to you to do it yourself. Okay. Now let us come to the topic reversible heat engine. So we know that work can easily be converted into other forms of energy, but converting other forms of energy to work is not that easy. So the mechanical work done by the shaft can be converted into internal energy of water in a paddle wheel work. So that's all of you have seen in the earlier part of this module, that is work and heat. So wherein when a paddle wheel rotates inside the system, it always results in increase in internal energy. So very easily it can be identified by increase in temperature of the substance. So this increases the heat of water. That's what I told, the temperature also increases. But the reverse process, that is transferring heat to the water, will not cause the shaft to rotate. You see, when a shaft is rotated inside the water, its temperature is increased. Okay. Now suppose if you supply heat to the water, will it make the shaft to rotate? No. So that is not possible. That means it is clear that work can be converted into heat directly and completely, but converting heat to work requires the use of some special devices. So we are not saying that converting heat to work is not possible or highly impossible. So this is possible, but it requires some special devices. So these devices are called as the heat engines. So the heat engines are the devices which converts heat energy into the mechanical energy or the work. So there are four characteristics of this heat engine. So they receive heat from the high temperature source, they convert part of this heat into work, they reject the remaining heat into lower temperature sink, okay, and they operate on a cycle. So they have to receive from the high temperature reservoir, convert only part of that into work, reject the remaining waste heat into low temperature sink, and they should complete a cycle. Now let us understand the efficiency of the reversible heat engine. So the efficiency of a reversible heat engine, wherein the heat is received from a high temperature reservoir at temperature Th, is given by eta reversible is equal to eta max, as we discussed in the previous lecture. So the efficiency of the reversible heat engines is always higher, or it is maximum. So that is why they are used as the standard or the reference for comparison of the efficiencies of the actual engines. So it is given by 1 minus QL by QH for reversible process. You have to mention here. Okay, this is for reversible process, and only for reversible process QL by QH is equal to TL by TH. So you can write it as 1 minus TL by TH, and the efficiency formula becomes TH minus TL by TH. So always remember that the efficiency of reversible heat engines can only be found out using temperatures. Okay, temperature of the source and the sink. Irreversible heat engine, so you have to find out using work and heat interactions, not by using the temperatures, because same two temperature reservoirs, you may have one reversible heat engine and one irreversible heat engine. So this reversible heat engine will have maximum efficiency, so that you have to calculate using temperatures, whereas irreversible heat engines you have to calculate using the heat interactions and work interaction. So it is observed that as TH increases and TL decreases, you can see here, so it is 1 minus of something. So as this quantity becomes less and less, so your efficiency becomes more and more, right? So here as TH increases and TL decreases, so the efficiency of the reversible cycle increases, because 1 minus the lesser quantity, so you will get a quantity which is higher, but still it is less than 1. So in order to convert into percentage, you have to multiply this by 100. Okay. Since eta is always less than unity, so TL is always greater than 0 and positive. See, this quantity TL is always greater than 0 and positive, because it has to reject heat to a sink. Okay. Now coming to the COP of the reversible refrigerator and the heat pump. So the COP of the refrigerator is given by COP refrigerator is QL divided by QH minus QL, or you can write it as 1 by QH by QL minus 1. And for reversible refrigerator, so QH by QL is equal to TH by TL. So you can write COP reversible refrigerator is TL by TH minus TL. So that means directly you can connect here. You see, wherever is QL is there, you have to connect write TL, and QH you have to write TH, because they are directly linked, because QL is corresponding to the reservoir at temperature TL, and QH is corresponding to the reservoir at temperature TH. Okay. Similarly, for the reversible heat pump, you can write it as TH by TH minus TL, or actually the formula is QH by QH minus QL. So in place of QH, you can write it as TH. Okay. So this is a summary of this efficiencies of reversible and irreversible heat engines. So all of you know that, all of you should know that the thermal efficiencies of actual and reversible heat engines operating in the same temperature can be compared as below. Now here, this is the efficiency of the actual engine, this side, and if this is the efficiency of the actual engine, if it is less than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine, so this engine is called as irreversible heat engine, because all irreversible heat engines will have an efficiency less than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine. So all of you know that. So you can say that yes, this engine is possible and it is irreversible heat engine. So you can develop such an engine. And if the efficiency of the actual engine is equal to the efficiency of the reversible heat engine, so then this engine also reversible heat engine. So both are considered to be reversible heat engines. And if the efficiency of the actual engine is greater than the efficiency of the reversible engine, so then it is impossible engine, because nobody can develop such an engine. Try to understand this. So nobody can develop an engine which can have a efficiency more than the efficiency of the reversible heat engine operating between the same two temperature limits. Try to understand my point here. Same two temperature limits. You cannot compare two engines, reversible and reversible, operating between two different temperature limits. So high temperature source has to be same for both, and low temperature source also has to be same for the both. Now similarly, you can compare the COP of the actual and the reversible refrigerators. Okay, refrigerator or the heat pump, both you can do. So this is the actual COP. If this COP is less than the COP of the reversible refrigerator, so then it is called as the this is called as, actually this is compared, so this is called as irreversible refrigerator. If the efficiency of this refrigerator is equal to the, COP is equal to the COP of the reversible refrigerator, so then this refrigerator is also called as the reversible refrigerator. Okay, here suffix R indicating refrigerator, not reversible. Okay, and if the efficiency of COP of this refrigerator is greater than the COP of the reversible refrigerator, so you cannot construct such an refrigerator, which is an impossible refrigerator. So with this I conclude the theory portion of the part 2 of this part 1 of this module 3. Okay, and I'll continue with the numericals in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.